Blessings of Light. I'm Reverend Harrison Roy Hesketh, and you're about to see a lecture. When we begin the path, sometimes we do not know, for the path is windy, and we do not see the bends or the end. But as we travel the path, it becomes straight and narrow.
Blessings of light. God bless you all. How are you doing tonight? We're going to be talking about mind tonight, and this is the we're going to be talking about the development of mastery in the 20th encounter, the last of the 5th month. This is the last lesson of the 5th month. And you're getting activated now into deeper levels. But if you didn't do your exercise in the beginning, you're being cheated. And you probably aren't getting some of these things. And you only cheated yourself. You didn't cheat me or you didn't cheat anybody else. By not doing it, you did a cheating on yourself. You deprived yourself of something that now others are going to share if you didn't do the exercises. Because there's no way that you're going to get it mentally without action. So it takes action in the mental. Action in the mental means that we put red and yellow together and we get orange. You see? We put red and yellow together and we get orange. And that gives us a And so there was a subconscious programming taking place, and it wasn't very deep. The subconscious mind, and it goes this deep here, you see. So we weren't going very deep in you. You might be very shallow and think we were going deep, but we weren't. And I hope I'm pushing some buttons tonight. Tonight I'd like you to share with me the 5 and the 6-pointed star. The 5-pointed star is an involution star, and we wanted to end a cycle by using that star. It ends a cycle involution in the consciousness, and actually at the subatomic structure of your light body, it is making a change so that the molecular structure in your consciousness will change. Meaning your physical body will withstand more of the energies are against it here on the earth, and you will start looking younger, feeling younger, and your body will last you longer because your nervous system will be activated at the light body state. And so what we do is we bring you into this field by bringing the descending 5-pointed star. That is a symbol that is now used a lot in Voodooism, in black magic, in Wiccacraft, and those kind of things. And what we want to do is end that cycle by having you do that so many days, and then balance the higher and lower triad. So it would clear the subatomic structure. But if we tell you that, if you have any blocks against any of those areas, you would have blocked the power. That's why we didn't tell you then. But that's what you're doing. This here is not an ascending symbol. See, it's a descending symbol. So it's not an ascending symbol. But the 6-pointed star now balances you and gets you in the, what we call the center way. And then from this point, now you are going to transfer your attention to your higher self. We've been building up energies on the higher planes of each one of your chakras. And when you start coming from the higher self, now you will have support there. And the law is as above, so below. And so we've been putting good images, good ideas, higher beliefs. We've been having experiences, spiritual experiences and stuff. Those things are on the top levels of each one of the chakras. The first 3 levels is the physical, emotional, mental level of the chakra. And then you have the center of the chakra, which is the psychic level of that chakra. Then you have the higher mind, the superconscious mind, the universal powers, or spiritual powers in the chakra, the 7 levels. And what we've been doing is working on the spiritual, the individual, and the creative, that higher ideas or higher mind area, and the psyche level. And so we've been working on the top 4 areas of each one of the chakras by the exercises that we've been doing up to this point to give you the strength to make the shift, the light shift. Energy will move in your body at a different rate of speed now. Your thought will be moving faster. But if you did not do some of the exercises, especially the breathing exercises, you are not in control of the 4 parts of your nervous system that we're going to be talking about. If you didn't do the centering exercises in the sound, then your brain isn't balanced and you won't comprehend it properly. So you need to reiterate these exercises which we have been teaching you from the beginning in these first months. But before I go into that, let's share a little bit about what's happening with the... We did record this, huh? We don't have it recorded? Oh, I see, okay. You're getting it in here? What is the date today?
February 8th.
February the 8th, and this is what class?
5-4.
5-4, good. So what we're doing is doing this balancing. So I'd like you to share so we can get some ideas what is happening in your consciousness so I can help guide you. This will be the last class I'll be teaching you until I come back from Bermuda in April. So I'll be back to the last shift. This is the shift you're taking now to move from, you moved from the outer to the inner. Before I left, that was the movement. Now we are moving from that inner consciousness to the higher, so that we have the power that we've been working on and building now for 5 months. And some of you will make a quick shift, like a big change. And areas that used to tie you down in that now you'll be free. You'll be in those higher parts of the chakra instead of the lower fields of the chakra. And you'll be coming from your heart and beyond, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. When you had the class on the difference between psychic and spiritual power, you notice that we didn't fall below the heart. And we would, from the heart, the throat, the brow, and the crown, we use those areas and the areas outside of our body beyond. So our feet was like standing in the foundation of knowledge. This was the bottom for us. We don't go any lower than this. We look at these other things, and we respond out of them. If they respond by our command, we don't respond at the command of our body, our emotions, our mind. You see, we don't let the instinctive mind, the subconscious mind, or our intellectual mind dominate or guide us in any way now. You follow what you know. You follow your heart. You follow your ideas, your beliefs, what you see in reality and truth. What is one with all, and what is the law of the universe? What is the law of the cosmic laws? Okay, I keep getting off here. Who would like to share?
After meditating on the star, I felt a lot more energy coming through my body.
Which one?
Before going to the 5-point star, the first couple of days. As I was starting to go to sleep, I felt a lot more energy coming through.
Right, because that'll do it. And then what happened with the other one?
The other one, I haven't really noticed anything in particular.
It's just like, it's just balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. See the difference? Yeah. One will start impacting energy downward. The other one just balances. So that's a good description of what they do.
When I was gazing last year, a little drums had me go out there and gazing. And when I closed my eyes, it looked like a tube, long tube,
Yeah, long black tube.
and the inside is deep, shining green like a diamond.
Oh,
And there's a
beautiful.
blue ring around it.
Oh,
And the tube itself is all, what is called, violet. And I tried 3 different times the same thing.
you're describing the colors of the throat chakra and looking out through from the higher mind. That's that color. It's green and blue. You look on your in your handbook on the etheric color. See, he's now penetrating it with etheric sight, and the diamond shows clarity in that level. Clarity, meaning clear awareness in that level, the higher mind. Oh, good. And when did that come? Did it come when you were doing the stars, or what?
I was just gazing. I was in the window. There was some sound coming, and I started gazing at it. It was pretty cool, not hot.
Right.
So I kept about 4 to 5 minutes, and then I tried to close the eyes.
Right.
And flash. I tried again.
Some people
just to
see
if it was
violet,
there.
some see orange, some see yellow. So you'll reflect by your refractor, meaning your perception is shining through your perception. Good. Good. So you got the intensity. See, this is the next thing I was going to tell you: sun and clean air. Lots of sun now to get that diamond consciousness, to get that clarity of consciousness. But some of you are already starting some of the things I've already told you, I'm going to tell you to do, because that's the rhythm of the training. You see, I can tell when you're in the rhythm. So a lot of times it's confirmation. I've had students that were doing the exercises the week before we got to the next class, because they have precognize and they pick it up. See, they're aware of the future and they pick it up and manifest it. Who else would like to share right now?
I felt a releasement of a lot of fear that I had, and much more contentment, and I felt a tremendous amount of extra energy. It's so clear energy. It's much more alert and aware. I had a cat with me for 2 weeks, for about 2 weeks, and I gave him one yesterday. And then I can see like
Yeah, cats deal with emotions.
blobs of color when I do the meditation. Mostly violet.
Yeah, that's the brow chakra. Great. So what she's talking about, see, I was talking about that subatomic structure. When it vibrates at a higher rate, it throws off the lesser elements. And one of the lesser elements, if you can see it as light, it spins at white light, so it throws off gray light, doesn't it? Throws the gray light, it's too dense for it to hold, so that it'll throw off the lesser light, the things that have been holding you up. And see what they're held to your body by light and energy. How do you think they are stuck on your brain or in your aura? And by doing the exercises, you spin your light body at a higher vibratory rate by the energies we're giving you, so you throw off those lesser vibrations and you get attuned to the higher vibrations and get more life and energy and do not cause the resistances. See? If you're resisting things, it's because you have things that are hanging on your body, your light body, your spirit, and causing you to be resistant. You see? And stopping the flow. You have to flow. Breaking free. It's like sometimes it's like an explosion. And all of a sudden you're just glowing very brightly. You jump up and see, we're becoming masters of light. We're workers of light now. See, by using the brown chakra, we're workers of light. And then we bring ourselves up into becoming masters of light. Good. Now you're starting to see the principle of what we're talking about. Words don't describe it. But all of these descriptions are telling us about it, what it does, that energy, that consciousness of it. Someone else like to share? Yes.
Mine was the opposite of Roger, I think. It was the 5-pointed star, I think, I don't remember very well.
Mm-hmm.
But the 6-pointed star I felt, and it's just expanding on your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to ask you also, I also had a dream.
See, that's another aspect of the same thing.
Oh.
See, it doesn't make him right and her wrong. It shows you the two aspects of the same thing. See, they're both getting it at different polarities. Your light body is going to react out of these exercises differently depending on how it's spinning. Some of you are spinning faster than others. Some are spinning slower. Some are thinking faster than others. And some are thinking slower. Some of them are feeling and responding faster. And some are responding slower because we're all individuals. And wherever we have our attention, we're going to move in that area faster. So some of you are using different chakras. So that's good, yes.
And also, I had a dream.
Those are affirmations of energy. And if there's nothing, I need to interrupt you. Those are affirmations of energy that you're getting when you feel a movement in the exercise. You're getting affirmative energies. And if it's still, you're already attuned. If you're moving at the speed of light, you don't see anything. You understand what I'm saying? If you move at the speed of light, you don't see anything. It's standing still at the speed of light. If you're moving at the same speed, two objects moving at the same speed are still relative to each other. They may be both moving 1,800 miles an hour, but they are still in relation to each other. They're moving together, you see. So when one looks over the other, they are still. See the concept? Get that concept. So as you are paralleling or moving with something, then it's still to you. It's calm. It's peace. It's peace. And peace is the inner guidance. That's from the higher mind. When your peace starts leaving you, then you know that something is moving you into a resisting area. An area that is now not moving at the same speed you're moving. Either you're resisting it, it's moving faster or slower than you. It'll cause a warmth or a coolness on your energies, electric or magnetic. You see? Good. How about the dream?
Oh, and after, I don't know if it has to do with 6-pointed star, but it was the geometric shape within the star, all lined up and like that, and a being walking through that center portion.
A being.
Of the 6-pointed and the center.
Wonderful. It was real bright, huh, the being?
Yes.
Yeah. Did it have white? What color did they have a robe or what color?
It was so golden.
Oh, golden. Well, that sounds, you know what's happening? She has got a peek at her soul, her psyche, in the center of that. That brilliance, the little gold man coming out of the heart, or the little white man coming out of the heart. You see, or a woman, or being. Sometimes it's not male or female, it's just a shape of a being. Yeah. Good. Sometimes you get a feminine guide, sometimes you get a masculine guide, sometimes you get a balanced guide. Doesn't appear. I know some people that like, do sweet talk, so they get females. Who else back there had their hand for a moment? Okay. Anything else you'd like to share?
With the 5-pointed star, basically got the impression of spirit descending into matter, like, into the earth structure and the more denser structure, and an increasing of vibration in the physical body. And with the 6-pointed star, a balance and expanding.
Balance, expanding, right. When we're expanding, we pop off of the limitations. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that expanding. Now, it's for your clairvoyant and your clairaudio abilities and your abilities of higher sight and perception, the abilities to let your creative powers flow and to activate the energies that are in the higher parts of each one of the chakras and in your higher triad, we now recommend strongly that you do these particular exercises each day. Each day, and you should practice this for at least 5 minutes for each one of these, and your meditation should be about an hour long now, and you should put everything within that hour. If you wish to have the strongest reward from your meditative practice, at this point, tithe 1/10 of your day to meditation. Do an hour in the morning, your 20 minutes in the afternoon, and 1 hour at night, and that's the tithing time. But you can get by in these exercises with doing it just 1 hour a day. But I would suggest if you're going to go in the depth of perception and get into these deeper areas of your mind and even past this area, you need to go beyond that 1 hour. I did many 3-hour and up to 10-hour meditations to have that steady, persistent determination. If you meditate for an hour, that gives you a basic power to persist any place else for an hour. Get your point across. What if you want to get your point across? You can persist for an hour getting that point across. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you have this persistence, the basic power to do it for an hour. In your subconscious mind, it says, I have an hour of power. You see? An hour of power in there. And if you have 3 hours of power, I have 3 hours of power by doing these classes. Well, I said I wanted more than just the 3 hours, so I did 10 hours. So I have 3 times the power in these hours, you see, that I can put into action. Or I can put 10 hours of power into action in 1 hour by impaction, or I can bring that down to put all of that into act in one movement, one moment. I can release all that energy in one moment, you see. You see what I'm talking about? That's an impaction and building of life force and energy. So these exercises you should add now to your daily routine. First of all, standing still, absolutely still. And each one of these should be at least 5 minutes. Standing absolutely still. Now, stillness is so important here, to be consciously still. Not meditating, not doing anything, but being still, like a calm pool, still. Your mind is still, your emotions are still, your body is still, your psyche is still, your higher mind is still, the pictures are still. Absolutely stillness for 5 minutes. Now, you can use that 5 minute when you walk up in front of somebody and you stop and you're absolutely still. All of your chakras, if you just open up and direct your stillness towards that individual, every time they move in any chakra, you'll be totally aware of what they're thinking, feeling, going to act, what their ideas are, everything. You'll be able to read the whole person in that 5 minutes. And sometimes that's all I get out of a whole reading time is the person's only open to me for a short period of time. You see? And then they may close off. Some don't even come open. I have to go in some other doors. But I'm teaching you these doors first. The other things come when you learn to be a teacher or a minister, a healer. When you get ordained, then we start teaching you some other things. But this first exercise is really important to have, that you have the ability to still everything. Now that teaches you several things. Patience, calm, peace, see, stillness. That's a basic power to move from. Your fastest movement can be moved from the still state, from inaction to action, supramunium, from the still state into immediate action. The next one is the nerve exercises. That is breathing the light in your nervous system. Breathing it over your nervous system. We give you some breath exercises to do to breathe in light over your nervous system. Feel it moving through your body and in your body. That is to attune your nervous system to each one of the light rays so that you can pick up those light rays by perception. You have to put this in now so that it works later. See, what we're doing is we're putting patterns over all of the stuff that's in your subconscious mind, and then those patterns correlated. It's like master programs over sub-programs. If you know anything about computers, you have to get into your computer's subconscious mind. And if you have everything scattered all over the place, just put in there, and you don't have any correlation to it, then it's going to be hard to react quickly because you're going to have to look for the reaction before you can react, you see? But if you learn how to be still, then you can react immediately. As soon as that information is there, you can spontaneously come out with it. You see, that's fast. How fast can you be? Spontaneous, that's superconscious. All the rest of these are slower levels of mind. So do these nerve exercises and feel it going through your nervous system. You want to get conscious control of energy moving through your nervous system. Feel this energy. It's moving through the nervous system. As soon as you pay attention, the line is there. As soon as you pay attention, the line is there. You see that? As soon as you pay attention to that energy, the line is there. As soon as it comes on you, it's just a very subtle, it's subtle as the line comes on you. As soon as you pay attention, the energy is coming on you, you see. You connect with it. It's energy. So with this exercise, you're able to radiate certain awareness to the other individual, even maybe you can't get through with words. Maybe you can't get through with your words and your ideas to them on one level. So you have to send it in another level where they're open. And so if you learn how to radiate through each one of the nervous systems, each one of the levels of the nervous system, then you can penetrate them with love and with truth and wisdom, the pure rays. Another one is, and do that for 5 minutes. And this one is consciously relaxing. Relax feet, relax toes, you see? Relax ankles, relax calves, relax my knees, relax knees, relax your thighs, oh come on, relax there, feel them relaxing. That's to release all the tension, to be able to let go of tension. Because things are put on you, you see. And after counseling or something like that, somebody's dumped a lot of stuff on you. You need to relax and let it, get it off you. Get away from those things. If you grab a hold of it, then it's got you too. It's like grabbing a hold of a tiger's tail. And what are you going to do? As long as you got a hold of his tail, he won't bite you. See? But as soon as you leave it go, what's going to happen? That's what some people do when they're counseling somebody. They get a hold of the tiger's tail and they're going home with it and trying to figure out what they're going to do with this dagger, because as soon as they leave it go, the thing's going to turn around and get it, see? So relaxation is an important conscious relaxation, just like conscious stillness. Now there's a difference between the relaxation and still. Relaxation, you're commanding your body to, you're being actively commanding to the body. Command and relax, command, release, command, release, command, release, command, release, command, release, command, release. Relax feet, release. Relax toes, relax. You see? Release. Command and release. The next one is the breathing exercises, the 4 breathing exercises. One for each part. The balancing of the brain. It's very important to stay balanced now, or you won't get balanced comprehension. Well, in balanced comprehension, both physical and metaphysical, seen and unseen, that which is of the material universe and that which is of the unmanifest universe. So that's very important. Another one is to break up stiffness anywhere in your body. Do stretching and bending. You don't want to hold anything anywhere in your body. Do some stretching and bending. Get those things, get some kind of exercise. I go over to Grecian Health Spa, pump some iron, stuff like that. That's what I do. Some people like to run. Some do yoga. I tried to do yoga and I couldn't bend that way, so my teacher said, okay. said I'd still be enlightened. So I said, thank you. That I tried and my leg went to sleep, and I couldn't do it, so I said I'm going to concentrate in another area. I always pumped iron, so I did that. Stretching and bending is so important that you get off the stiffness in any part of the body. Any stiffness, any fixed energy, anything that is tight there, because your nervous system will be tight there. You see? If you hit a tight string, it goes boing! You know, you ever get that? It really goes, it's very hard and fast. If it's a loose string, it goes boom. It doesn't go back and forth so many times. Boom, boom, boom. You see? It's up here, it goes boing! And you're reacting a whole bunch of times to something instead of thump, thump, see it a couple of times and let it go. You see what I'm saying? Your nervous system is picking up vibrations. And some of them that will shock you or startle you or jolt your nervous system. Someone walking you, what's happening? So it's so important now to get these exercises in to your routine because we're now activating deeper levels of the consciousness. We were talking about the parasympathetic levels, Matt. The importance of this particular lesson is the depth of concentration. The ability now to have freed voluntary attention in a concentrated way. And tonight we have a great test of concentration because we've got something going on next door. One-pointedness, purpose, surroundings, telepathic intruders, the music box, these things are enemies to concentration. And let's take, some of these are enemies, some of these are values to concentration. First, the values. One-pointedness. One-pointedness has the ability to pierce through all illusions and all superficial things to get the point to the heart of things. To bring your ideas to the heart of things, your desires, your actions, to bring the spiritual power to the healing point in the person's consciousness, to be able to hold that point and not be sidetracked, not to lose your point. And so concentration does one thing, eliminates the irrelevant. It eliminates the irrelevant, and that brings one-pointedness. That's irrelevant to the point, then eliminate it. If it's irrelevant to the point, you eliminate it. And a lot of people get off on irrelevant things in business or in education or in your own relationships or wherever you're working. One-pointedness is so important to have the ability not to be sidetracked and someone take up an hour of your time that you don't need, or they keep going over the same old things over and over again. They're not one-pointed. You're training yourself to get it the first time. The master gets it the first time. The chela, he has to go over and over and over and over it. You're going to the point of consciousness where you get it the first time. That's in the crown, in the center of the crown, in mastery. The second is this one-pointedness. You should have purpose. The purpose gives it the strength, the value. The strength and value. And so as you give it the purpose to the one-pointedness, it directs the one-pointedness. It gives it direction and discernment by having a purpose. You get direction and discernment. You're able to discern things, make a differentiation between that reality and non-reality. So purpose is important to the one-pointedness. Now the opposers of this concentration, one is surroundings. And it can be a benefit or it can be an opposer to your concentration. If you have a lot of things going on around where you are trying to get your point across, it is going to be more difficult because your subtle attention will be going to it. Just like now you're hearing me, but you're also aware that there's something going on in the other room. So attention is being split here. Subtle energies are taking energy. Subtle attention is taking energy away from conscious attention. Do you see what I'm saying? So in your surroundings, you want to be able to have everything conducive to your attention. If there's a bunch of loud pictures or mirrors or things in the room when you're trying to counsel somebody, their attention is going to wander off on those things. You put on a bunch of bangles and beads and they're going to be looking all over those things. Well, some like to distract the attention so you can look at them. But see, we don't want distracted attention. We want one-pointed, concentrated attention because we're working with open and direct, not reflective energies. See, if we wanted to get reflective energies, we'd say, pay attention over there, and then we'd look at them, and then we could reflect on them while they are reflecting someplace else by sending their attention to another point. Pay attention to this report, and look how the man is reacting to the report. You see? That's reflection. But open and direct energies, you get it open and direct. That's immediate. There is no time there. There's no time lag. In reflection, sometimes there's days of time lag. But you want it right now, present consciousness, immediately, so your surroundings should be conducive to what you are doing. You don't meditate out on next to the freeway and with cars running up and down and beeping horns and things like that. You don't go over where they're building a building, running jackhammers and things and try to meditate, because your attention would be split. You go to a calm, quiet place that is conducive to meditation. The quietude of your bedroom. If you have a quiet bedroom, some bedrooms are very noisy during the day, but quiet at night. So the surroundings. Now the other thing you have to that you have to guard against is called telepathic intrusion. Telepathic intrusion. People are sending thoughts at you all the time. There are businessmen out here blanketing thoughts over people. There's thoughts being sent into this room. There are people that are holding a point very strongly, and that point is radiating, and you walk right into it. It will intrude in your mind if you do not protect yourself against it. Thought intrusion in that happens because you do not contain the balance in the lower centers, in your physical, emotional, and mental level. And what happens if someone sends a thought in and you're not at a higher level, you'll respond out of that thought physically, emotionally, or mentally. Do you see what I'm saying? So you don't want someone controlling your personality. You don't want anyone controlling your personality. You must be in command. That's why you're the one in the heart. So you have to be careful of thought intrusion through telepathic energies, because people will be sending you things. Your boss wants you something to do, he sends a thought, boom, into your head. Your friend, your wife, your husband, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, all people that you're open to have access to you with thought intrusion. Now, one thing that we've been giving you that protects you against that is called the gold and white aura, or the violet and white aura, whichever one you are using. The gold and white aura, it purifies that energy before it comes into your brain. And it stops the lower vibratory thought intrusions, things that are not important. And it lets only those things that have purpose and are pure in their energies to you to come in. And so you should be concentrating now on that shield, strong enough to stop a bullet, strong enough to stop an impure thought, an impure feeling that's being sent towards you. So you don't react out of that lower field. There are people giving telepathic energies at all times. If a girl walks past and you think something about her, your thoughts intrude her aura. A man walks past, you think something about him, the thoughts intrude his aura. And so lots of people are intruding without even your awareness. hypnotize the mind into a false awareness of being still, like listening to music all the time going on in the background, the music box effect. And pretty soon you're working there, but you're not conscious the music's going on. That takes energy at subtle fields, and you have to close off to it for not to hear it if it's going on. You will have to close off to it, so that means you're closing off part of your nervous system. And when you have to do that, then you're going to take and lose that area of perception. Every area of your nervous system you close off, you lose that area of perception. So watch the music box effect. Things going on. Someone talking and talking and talking, and you just hear mumbling going on. You're not all there. And when you're not all with it, you're not going to be super conscious, and you're going against or resisting the movement that we're doing. Four enemies of this concentration now that you need to guard against very strongly is a sleepy heart. Let's talk a little bit about a sleepy heart. A sleepy heart doesn't do what it knows to do. It says, oh, I should have done that. I knew to do that, but instead I did something else. A sleepy heart is a procrastinator. Procrastinator says, oh, I'll get it done sometime. You can postpone things by rescheduling them at another time, but procrastination doesn't reschedule anything. It just says, I'll do it some other time. Get the difference between postponement and procrastination here in the abilities to do what you know to do. Start putting everything you know to do into action. Waken your heart. Don't let your intellect steal your knowledge, because the intellect will take over and do all your thinking and everything. So a sleepy heart, waken up your heart. When you're in meditation, be aware and awake. As you're going in your meditation, say, my body is going to sleep, and my mind is awakening. My mind is awakening. My emotions are becoming calm and going to sleep, but my mind is awakening. My mind is awakening. Then you say, my mind is going to sleep. I am awakening. I am awakening. So speak with heart. Feel the energies coming from the heart as you speak to open that sleepy heart. Some of you may get a little drowsy doing this class because we're going down now into the autonomic and the sympathetic levels of the nervous system. Another enemy of concentration is emotions that deal with pleasure and pain. You can get hung up on being a sickie and going around complaining about all the little illnesses and everything. Or you can go around bragging about everything that's going good. One is just as bad as the other. They take emotional energy that don't go anyplace. That's counterproductive. It doesn't bring any results. You see? It's being directed to just be eaten by the ego. So be very careful here in controlling pleasure and pain in your consciousness. Move in balance to both things that seem negative or positive. Always stay balanced. The second thing here also with emotions has to do with the human passion. Human passions will bring on the emotional body into the physical action, and it sends the energy downward. Human passions send energy downward. Unless you want the energy to go downward. But you must be very careful of this energy in human passion, lusting after parts of bodies and things like that. Lusting after money and fame and fortune and all of these kind of things. Being surprised and disappointed through those passions. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of consciousness, and it's red, so it takes and drops the light all the way down to a gives constructive unity of purpose. Not knowing enough about the situation, not knowing enough about what you're going to be doing, not making a clear enough plan, not being clear enough in your awareness of what all the details are, taking all the consideration, discerning properly, having purpose and discernment and these kind of things. So if you lack the wisdom and knowledge, you will have to go down and try to figure something out. You see what I'm saying? You'll have drop from your heart and you go into the correlation, calculation, reason, logic states of consciousness. See, we want you to now starting to be able to come completely from this higher being, your higher self here, higher beingness now. Mind or a confusing mind. A confusing mind means banging each other. They are not moving in unison. And so the mind gets confused. It means there's no harmony in that part of the nervous system either. And so whatever information comes in, whatever data comes in, is also going to be confused. You see what I'm saying? Because it's going to come in through those lines of energy. What we're doing is we're clearing out the nervous system now. You'd be surprised how much more life and energy you'll have here as you're doing this. Glowing even brighter than you are glowing now. You're glowing a lot brighter than when you came here. Most of you anyway. So confused mind, you need to do everything to get your mind clear. And by practicing the stillness and the relaxation and the meditation, that helps you to get command and clarity over the mind because you're practicing different levels of the mind. There's also different levels of the nervous system again. The fourth enemy of concentration is to be attached to anything but God. To be attached to anything but God. If you're centered on God, have that perfect center in God, then God will be in every situation. But if you attach yourself to something else, that will take your time and energy. And see, God gives you everything back. You pay attention to God and He gives you more energy, gives your life more abundant. You see? But if you pay a lot of attention to your car, the car isn't going to give it back to you. Your house isn't going to give it back to you. You see? Those things will, inanimate objects cannot fulfill your consciousness and they can't return energy. They only take and ground out energy. Materials, things just ground it out. So having an attachment to anything other than freedom, the total ability to be at oneness, meaning having access to being bound by the boundless, limited by the limitless, in tune with the infinite, to be attuned at that level. Now you're going to succeed. You'll have more than you've ever asked for. Now let's do a couple little exercises here to activate our awareness. Because we're going to activate the awareness and then we're going to talk about this chart which I have up here on the wall. First of all, I want you to look all around this room. Just look all around this room. I want you to look all around it. Be sure you get a good picture of it. Because in a moment we're going to see how good you are at this, how much you can grasp. Okay, I want you to relax now and close your eyes and pay attention to the back of your forehead. And without moving your body, I want you to look around the room again, and without opening your eyes, look around the room and see how much you grasp by what you had in front of you. Don't move your body, don't move your head. Just look around with consciousness. You don't want to get it into the body. Now we're taking it to another level. See what you've grasped there. See it over in your imagination. Okay, that's the same amount of time. and see how much you didn't get. Notice if you got everything, what happened? Where were there blank spots? In the movement of your head, you had to use your nervous system, and there may be blank spots on your nervous system. So that means when you look in that direction when other people are around, you would lose that too. Okay, now we want you to come back and go inside again. Now I want you to pick some part of this day, and I want you to look at it again. And I want you inside to live it over again in your imagination, part of the day. Like it is really happening. Pick a good part. Just live it over now. Just keep going. Okay, now I want you to be perfectly honest with yourself. Ask your subconscious mind, did I get everything in that when I was doing it? And if it says yes or no, it doesn't say good or bad, just yes or no. Okay. I want you to go back to that part of the day again. That few minutes, you can live it much faster in the inner planes. Live it over in your imagination again. See what you're grasping. And feel yourself consciously relaxing. Okay. Ask your subconscious mind, did you do better? And relax and bring yourself out. The next thing is to pick one of these pictures here in the room and look at the picture. And see what you see. Look in that picture. What do you see? Look at the scene in that picture. What do you see? What is impressing you in that picture? That's your self-expression. What you're picking up in that is your self-expression. You can only relate to yourself. So whatever you picked up in that is self-expression. Now, I want you to, again, go inside. Go inside to your third eye, looking at the back of your brow like you're looking at the root of your nose, right between your eyes, and put your finger, your right hand, your index finger on that point. Now move it up about halfway up your forehead, between your hairline and that root without looking. Just feel that energy there. And notice how you're feeling in your head. If there's any tingles, if there's any energy there. Now as you're doing that, right at that point, what I would like you to do now is look at the end of your finger and see yourself doing something new. Something new. Something new you want to do. And as you see yourself doing something new, say to your mind, I give up wishing. I give up wishing. Second, as you're seeing something new, say, I am the teacher. I am the teacher. Seeing yourself do something new. I am the teacher. And now, give your mind the command, meditate within. See yourself doing something new, and give your mind the command, meditate within. And feel yourself going deeper and deeper into your mind. Now relax, let it go. Now here's what we're doing. We have the nervous system we were talking about, and we gave you this chart. The red and the violet, the blue, or the red and the violet here, which come out of the brow and the root chakra, are on the parasympathetic parasympathetic level of the nervous system. But the spleen chakra, the navel chakra, the heart chakra, and the throat chakra are on the sympathetic nervous system, or on the sympathetic nervous system. And this is the system that gives you depth of mind. The parasympathetic is spiritual energy and light. This gives you depth of mind. And so we're activating now the point of going deeper into the mind, to have the depth of mind. The first depth that we record is in our subconscious mind, and it deals with our likes and our dislikes. And so if you are involved a lot with just likes and dislikes, you're at point A there. And if you're spending a lot of your inner consciousness on likes and dislikes, you have that depth of mind. It's the shallow mind. It's a shallow mind. It's an emotional mind, and it reacts very quickly out of things, emotionally. And so if you are involved in that level of mind, you're going to react out of the lowest level of your sympathetic nervous system, personality level. And in so doing, you're going to be bound up in your lower triad in a shallow mind, and a lot of things, opportunities and creative power and those things will pass you by. And you'll never be able to stay in any system. Systems, you'll try to stay out of systems. You won't do any mental disciplines. You'll be very laxed. If you don't like doing mental disciplines, you may be bound up there in that emotional state of point A. And so the depth of your perception is only going to be that deep. And everything that you deal with in life will only be that deep. And it'll seem like it is a lot because you react a lot out of that level, emotionally. You're dealing with likes and dislikes. So get them clear. Get absolutely clear. You should practice now a desireless state for a while to compensate for all the desire state. Desireless lets God do it. Desire has personality do it. That deals with faith, to let God do it, and that's the highest level up there. The next level deals with slave thoughts, the sub of the subconscious mind, the thinking mind. And it's bound up in systems, number systems, languages, business systems, a system for this and a system for that. And if you don't like systems, or you're bound up in systems, this is your area that you are either combating or bound up in. You want to get free from this area too. You see, it's only halfway there in the depth of mind. And so all the thinking and reasoning and logic and figuring it out, correlation, calculation, making assumptions, conclusions, comparisons, judgments, and opinions, those are all under slave thought. They're all under the slave thought. And if you take and get bound up, you become a slave to your thoughts. You react out of your thoughts. You get bound up in them. You can't stop your mind. You'll just keep thinking all the time, whether you want it to or not. You get in worry in this area. Worry goes around and around on itself, and it never comes out because it doesn't have a direction. So you need to give it a direction, a decision, something to make it go someplace. The next level is the free thought. This comes by doing what you know to do. You don't have any resistance. You don't have any resistance to do what you know to do. And the other, the system, you have to adapt yourself to be limited to that system. The slave thought, you see. This, when you have a free thought, you can do what you know to do, and you can adapt what you know to do. So you're free to adapt. The adapt lives in the heart. We're asking you now to be adept. You've been initiated physically and emotionally and mentally now. And the fourth stage of initiation is called adapt. to be the adapt. And so we are now bringing to breathe free, act from your heart, that's an adapt. So you can adapt the principles and the powers to situations. But see, you can just call in free thought too, and you're always there. You need to go higher. There's a higher power for you to use. But that one gives you freedom to adapt. The next level is called mastery. The area of the master of the mind. And this gives you the real depth of perception, because if you believe in it, it will be. You have the power now to believe a thing and it will be. And how long does it take it to be? Tells you how much resistance you have in these other levels coming out. See, if you can go right to that level of belief and come out, there's no resistance. And the same with these other levels, and you should be able to use all of them. You should be able to go into your subconscious mind, or into your thinking mind, or into your environmental or psyche, or into your higher mind, where the ideas and beliefs and understandings from principle come. The peace beyond understanding here. So free thought, you do it from what you understand, what you know. Here you go beyond what you know. You're able to create and take a new step. Create something new. You see, this is a creative step. And so you can create a new relationship out of an old relationship, a new business out of an old one. A new person out of the old ego. You see, from that creative higher level, but it deals with belief, it deals with faith, it deals with trust. See, if you aren't getting to this level, you're not trusting people. If you're getting to this level, you're trusting. You have faith. You have strength. You have power. Your ideas are coming freely and quickly. And there is no resistance to their outflowing. This means now you're operating up here at a higher level than someone else. You're not down there. It's like flying over the freeway instead of driving down the freeway at rush hour. Do you see what I'm saying? And here's a whole bunch of thoughts and forms and that going on. Here you got what you know, which gives you more freedom, but you're greater in freedom when you can do what you believe. Now this is being controlled by the superconscious mind. See, and the superconscious mind is the mind of the presence. It sees everything that is present. The past is present, the present is present, the future is present. Everything is present in the superconscious mind. Everything is present in the superconscious mind. There's a merger here. It uses all of these levels. It has the ability to use all of these levels, plus the instinctive mind. The superconscious mind even has power of the instinctive mind. But you're operating now from your third eye and with your open heart. You see, so that you're not bound in slavery. Oh, I have to go to work. I have to get this job done. I have to work 9 to 5 or else. I have to stay in this relationship. You've got all this slave consciousness. Well, I can't change my car because I can't go here because I have this or that binding me, some system. Your mind is stuck on it. And so it limits how far you can go, too. It's like having a leash. The superconscious mind has no leash. You see, the longest leash comes when the beliefs and the faith, and so you can roam all of creation in that one. See? But then you can only roam your environment and what you know when you get into this one. Now you can only work with the systems and the laws that everybody else is imposing. The goals, everything restricts. See? You're going beyond goals because God is the only goal. You've switched it. God is the goal, and you have the freedom to create now. The goal is God in action, the most free state. If you're down here in this emotional, that's the most isolated depth of mind. And it's the most cluttered. It's got everything in it. Everything. And every time you've got to go through it, you have to go through everything. The higher you get, the deeper you can go, the simpler it is. It becomes more simple till it becomes childlike. It's a play of consciousness instead of a work of consciousness. It's your play in consciousness. See, what's work to you is play to me. It might be work for you to meditate and do these exercises, but this is play. I enjoy doing it. And now, in my character, I have the power, you see. But you need to put it in, put it in, put it in. Consciousness. What you desire. You may not want to be like me. reaching to this different depths of mind. Now let's find out what happens when we start in mind. We want to get to the point here at point B. And we began to move in our mind and say, oh, have I forgotten anything? Let's see, I'll go back. Sidetracked and back. And then you say, oh, let's see, what was I going for? Okay, yeah, I remember now. Oh, that was interesting, that thing that happened the other day, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, oh, boy, this is going to take a lot of time and effort and everything. How far is this going to put me back? Oh, no, I got to get back to what I'm doing, all right. Someone calls on the phone, hello, how you been today? Yes, oh, yes, wonderful day, yeah. Oh, sure, oh, nice, yeah, okay, what was I doing now that day? Oh, okay. And the thought, the bell rings, ding, ding, ding. Door slams. Whoops. Lack of emotional control will be a wondering and going in circles and wondering and all of that kind of a thought pattern. Someone that's very intellectual. They get sidetracked, boy, that's okay. They're in command. See the difference in the energy? It's going to move that way. Someone does what they know. Wait a minute, I got to figure out what I know here. Okay. Is that sure? Oh, okay. I believe. First I'm here, then I'm there. The fastest movement. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, basic physics. The shortest distance between you and what you want to do is a straight line. Not beating around the bush, not going around the corner, not trying to figure it out, not doing something else, not getting sidetracked. Going straight to the point. And if the mind is clear and high, you don't have to fly over the mountain or go around the corners or drive down the street and up and down and over and around and through the city. We would get there much faster if we go just straight. When you're going from home to work or from home to here, did you take, the scenic route? You wanted to get here, so you took the shortest possible route, right? Well, you might have missed your turnoff somewhere. Sometimes you do that, see, and you have to go back and run around the block a little bit. This is the difference in the movements of consciousness as you are dealing with the depths of perception. This first one, you've got to go all over the place looking for it. Where's it at? Let's see, it's over here, where's that at? Okay. And sometimes you're off for a while, and you get back and say, oh, gee, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And you look, and an hour's gone by, 2 hours gone by, a day went by, 2 days, a week, month, couple of years, and you're saying, gee, I should have done that then. What this kind of consciousness does to you says it's too late. It's too late, because if you have to go back over this area, back through your subconscious mind, to point A, where you began, to get reinforcement for point B, your mind's saying, I don't know exactly everything I did. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The point of view I'm saying here? And you can see these thought lines come out of the mind. These lines of thought. And they're moving at different speeds. This moves very slowly. Well, I'm not sure what I like or dislike, or should I do it or shouldn't I do it? Yes, no. This is a good teaching. I'm not sure about this teaching. I like it, but I don't like it. And you see? It's not going place, isn't it? I got to check it out. I better check it out again. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do that again. Let me check that out again 3, 4 times, 5 times, over and over. And then every time if you get the end of the check, you say, am I sure? Well, I better check it out again. Then you go back and see because you're not sure. This is trying to make sure all the time. Trying to be sure. So, this one was wandering all over. That's great diversity. This is less diversity, but it's over and over, checking it over, taking and doing the same thing over and over and over again. It gets boring. You get bored with your job, get bored with the relationship, you know. You push the button, the same thing happens every time. Pretty soon it's the same old thing. So you get tired of it, right? You go to work and have to do the same old thing. You get tired and bored with that because the system will just keep buying you, and you have to check it over and over and over. Here you do what you know to do. That's less diversity. You may only know two things to do. Either to do it right or do it wrong. I'm going to do it right this time. Some people say, I know I'm going to do it wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. You ever hear people say that? What a programming for their heart. Do what you know to do. It's faster. There's less things. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to go looking for it. You know what you did. You were there. Were you? Well, you should have been there. Who else was there? See, you know what you did, and it's all there in your banks of knowledge. And so now you're going to follow intuition rather than all of the dialogue. What is the intuition? When you asked your subconscious mind, were you doing okay? That information that came back, yes or no, was bounced off of intuition. What you know about yourself. Okay. And some of you, your intuition said, yeah, I'm doing good. So you said, yeah, I'm doing good. So you said, well, I'm doing good. There's different intensities of the thought here. Now watch your minds. Because you were doing that, see? When I asked that question, but if I look at one person, then I lose the whole. So I'm scanning. Then I'll hit an eye, and I'll scan. Hit an eye, and I'll scan. See, through the universal aspect of mind. Here you do what you know to do. Here, there's only one thing. What you believe. There's only one. You see that? You are eliminating other alternatives and issues and energies to say, I do what I believe. You do that. Faith, that's called faith. Living your word. Do it. Living the word. Being the truth. That's reality. Truth, reality. What you believe. See, there's only one movement there. It's direct. Open and direct. There's nothing else. You don't put something in your path, like you're saying, well, I can't do that. The system will say, well, I didn't do, maybe you're in your heart, you know you didn't do that before. But up here you can do it because you believe you can do it. It's been done by others. You're taking your human or spiritual heritage and you're doing it. If anybody else did it, you can do it. You can do it too. You can't go against the law and do it. You can do it within the law and the truth. Man is not going to have a baby. You see? I haven't seen any men have babies. See, it's against the truth right there, isn't it? But maybe there's science. We could cut a man up and sew a woman on him or something. I don't know. Put them together and maybe they could have a baby. But see, naturally, the law doesn't work that way. So we're using natural law here. You're claiming your heritage. That's called free will. This has a free will level to it. See? The emotions are supporting it, and the mind is supporting it, and the knowledge is supporting all of this belief. If one of these blocks is removed of energy, then it doesn't have the sequential step-down pattern to bring it into manifestation. It misses one of the sequences of step-downing and transforming the energy. It has to come from belief, to be free, to be brought into a descriptive structure, to say this is the limit of it, and this is what I desire, and this is what I don't desire. You see that? The law of manifestation from the sympathetic level of the nervous system. And by moving upon what you believe, you will be in the area to be aware of everybody else in all of these other levels, because you practice it where you're at. If you practice it on you, you'll see it everywhere. You practice it on you, you'll see it everywhere. That's why you're going to the higher triad. Not in the personality now, you won't see it everywhere. Down there it's objective. I mean, everybody's different. See, but up in the higher triad, we're all humans. We have alikenesses. And we concentrate on the alike rather than the diversities. We say what is alike there rather than what's the differences. We want to know what's going together rather than what is being separated. You see what I'm saying? We're getting the supporting energies here of togetherness, of oneness, of wholeness. And so we're just taking you one step beyond the psyche. Growth is going beyond where you already have experienced. Growth is going beyond. So we're getting you to the growth level. This brings growth. New growth. New growth. And begin to think of your thought lines. Is this an open and direct movement from myself to that individual? When you see something, do you have that thought line right out the center of your forehead going to it without any restrictions? That goes through walls, it goes through anything. That thought line. Are you see what I'm saying? Now you're putting a line on it. But if it doesn't come, if you had a knuckle line on there, you would get all upset emotionally. We're talking about a light line now. Do you see? The power to draw it from a direct, an open and direct. That's fast. Sunday, I said to my son, we'd been looking for a computer, right? So I said, okay, we've looked long enough on Sunday. I says, you and I are going to agree together in faith for a computer tomorrow. And we'll do whatever's necessary to get it. Tomorrow it will be here. That was on Sunday. I said, do you agree? Yes. I says, okay, let's put our mind on it. Put that line on it. So we both saw it, and two lines went to the same object. Now we didn't put it in the physical. You see there's no red here. We didn't limit where it was going to come from. You see, we didn't say we were going to pay it or somebody else was going to pay for it or what. So this beautiful lady that is one of our students in Santa Cruz, she'd been looking for us. And she got about $700 off on this computer. And she says, when you're at the store, let me know. So we let her know. And she come in and she made out a check for the whole thing. And bought us an Apple computer. Well, we claimed it. Do you see what I'm saying? We put the thought line on, and we set the time, the space, and we do whatever's necessary. Now we said, God, we did everything we can do. Now you do what you can do. You see? So now we've taken it to a higher source. We had faith, because all of our energies were open to the manifestation. You see? You may think, oh, I have to do this or do that. You may be thinking. You may be feeling. See how shallow that is? That you have to do this or that. You may be thinking that. You may know you have to do this or that. See? But we didn't even know we had to do anything. We just let go and let God. We didn't even know where it was coming from. We didn't limit the manifestation. We only accepted it before we knew. Accepting before we knew. You see that? Faith is accepting it before it appears. Before it's there. It's the faith of accepting the unseen before it is manifest. How else can you draw it to you? How else can you get a magnetic center? It has to start on the metaphysical, the transpersonal level, and come down to the personal level, to the physical level. You see? So we're using a transpersonal power beyond the personality. We're using this deeper power of consciousness to bring it about, to believe in it. And so this chart here, you should put it very strongly into your subconscious mind. It's a very simple chart. And it deals with this first spleen chakra, navel chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra. The power of the throat chakra is what you're using. See? You're going to the blue. You're bringing it into reality and truth. Not just emotional longing after and wanting. I like it, gee, well, everybody liked it. You can like something without ever getting it. Right? Or you can dislike it without ever even having it. See? And you can figure out how you're going to work and get it, but you still didn't get it, did you? Well, you can know someday that it's going to be in your environment. I can see it sitting over there. Well, knowing it didn't give it to you yet, it did. Accepting it in faith gave it to you. You see, you accepted, you believed it. There was nothing opposed to it. See? Nothing opposed to it. There wasn't money or persons or places or things or limitations. See, we let God talk to people. We talk to God. We're not going to take people. Some people give us thousands and thousands of dollars, and we don't go patronizing them and running after them, and we let God talk to them. It's okay. So we might sign a check over $2,000. Here's this computer. Thank you. We had a $30,000 computer given to us. And look at this. Now our data processing department is really starting to jump because we agreed there would be a data processing department. We said, we accept one. And we started acting out of faith. We have it. You see? You act it out. That's your goal. That's your knowledge. That's your faith. That's your belief. Desire, goal, knowledge, and belief. Desire, goal, knowledge, belief. They're all one. Now they're all moving at once. Desire, goal, knowledge, and belief. They're all moving simultaneously. They're all moving in one movement. One constant movement. That means that every level of your nervous system is driving forward towards that which you are one-pointed in, which you have your concentration. Depths of concentration. That's what this is. Deeper and deeper and deeper concentration until you have such a free concentration that you see everything. Universal concentration. There's a point where you come to universal concentration. Look at the whole room. Boy, it's brighter when you look at the whole room. Ever notice that? See how it brightens up, but if you center on something, there's dark areas. You see that? Because you're taking energy away from those other areas and you're focusing. When you open up, you spread out the energy. See? Concentrated. Concentrated. Eliminate the irrelevance. Okay, let's go over this again. Add to the daily routine, standing still, doing your nerve exercises, relaxing, breathing, and stretching and bending. Get plenty of sun now. Be sure to get plenty of sun. It's real important for it to rejuvenate your light body and feel the radiation of the sun rejuvenating your light body. You're now sipping the nectar of cosmic energy. Your nervous system is pulling the cosmic energy. You have belief beyond the earth. You have knowledge beyond the earth. You have goals beyond the earth. You have desires beyond the earth. You see how you're reaching out? Now your aura is expanding. You're paying attention to the sun. You want to be the master of the universe? All right, here we are. Well, at least the solar system to start with. You've got to start with something, right? We had yourself already, and then we went to planetary. Now let's go, let's get our aura out, sweeping as these planets turn around the sun. You get the source of life of this particular universe. We're going to go to the center sun. See? Right now, we're just going to this sun. We want to get to this sun. Get the energy. So pay attention to it. As you pay attention, your mind reaches out. It gets off a little box perception of a room, little box perception of your head, or round perception of your head. Because sometimes you're just inside your little head, just run around in there. So your aura is right there. I'll tell you where your aura is, wherever you can pay attention. Because the only things you'll perceive is what is in your aura. That's the only thing that you can be aware of, or what comes into your aura. That's the only thing you become aware of. It's in your aura before it's ever in your mind. It's in your aura before it's ever in your mind. You want it before it gets to your mind. If you don't want it to contaminate your mind, you want to be able to knock it out before it gets in your mind and disrupts all the beauty and the strength and the correlation and all the things that you've been doing in there. The good things, right? So we want to stop it now at its light state. This here's the part of the nervous system that takes action. This is the part that prepares you for action, gets the adrenaline going and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're doing. We're going into that part of the nervous system, in that center part of it. Where did I put that flyer? Oh, here it is. See how we're doing that now? We're coming in on this, zeroing in on this part and practicing this part now of the nervous system. I was telling you things to do on the outer part, the finer level. That was to open up so the light will come in. Now we're preparing the mind for the mind to be illumined. See, to be illumined so you can get enlightened. There's a difference between illumination and enlightenment. See, a difference in those two. Know that difference. You're going to illumine so you can become enlightened. You illumine the nervous system. You put energy on it. It's going to be stronger in its action and its ability to function as you take and give it the general energy. Give it more life. And that's why you're doing it on condition. You're doing it in color. You're not putting it in words, putting it on set feelings and those kind of things. You're giving yourself a general power, like you put gasoline in the car and you can drive everywhere. You see, this is the fuel for your nervous system and your light body. Now is the time to make the shift from the lower to the higher triad. Every one of the symbols that you've been working with generate a different pattern of energy, just like every asana or physical position gives you a different movement of energy through the body. Each philosophy gives you a different movement of energy through the mind. Each religion gives you a different movement of energy through the spirit. You see? You see that? So you're getting into the movement of light and energy now, and getting control over the light body. Okay, we'll come up out of the subfields. Feel the weight coming off the room? Oh, see that? See where you were sleeping? Now you're getting more awake. Okay, questions? Any questions? What I did is I took the energy in the room down to subtle levels.
What are the nerve exercises?
The nerve exercise is the breathing in of light. We give you the light exercise to breathe into chakra and breathe it up the spine and breathe in.
Oh, the balance breath.
Yeah, in the no, that's the breathing exercises. This is, this one's balanced breath and the cleansing breath and the, all of those 5, 5, 5, and 10. That's the breathing. The light exercise, the nerve exercises are those ones that we gave you in the beginning of the class that dealt with breathing in the color. You breathe the color in, and then you radiate it in the chakra, breathe into that chakra, and then up the spine. Then you go to the next one, you breathe it in. It was about the 4th or 5th lesson. See there? How quick you forget. So that's it. You're feeling that energy moving over the body, over the nervous system. You're radiating it over the nose. You breathe in the color red, and just vitalize the whole body in the nervous system. You breathe it in, and you breathe it up the spine, up to the God self. Then you breathe it in through the chakra, the next chakra, the orange, through the spleen. Then you vivify the body over the whole nervous system. Feel it radiating to all the parts of the body. Orange. Then up the spine. Clearing the body, then yellow. Radiated to the body. Up. Green. The whole body. Radiating up. Blue. You see, just like that. You're watching the aura change? I can just breathe each color and radiate each color off the nervous system. If you want to give somebody pure love, you just stand there and radiate some rose. Smiling on people's face, huh? Okay. Look how all old people are smiling in here. Yes.
Could you please demonstrate the breathing?
Okay.
No, don't do that.
Okay. Breathing? I just did the breathing, you know, this side of your nose and this side of your nose, and then the 5, 5, 5.
The one that you go, you put your head back.
Oh, the breath of fire?
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's with it too. Yeah, the breath of fire is just all the way in and down in the body, all the way down through to the feet the first 3 times, and then down the base of the spine and up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. See what you're doing? You're moving your awareness over your nervous system. See, you're moving your awareness over your nervous system real fast at that one. Just down. You can do it for about 5 minutes. As long as you want to do it, you can keep this. If you don't practice, so you get dizzy. You get dizzy. I can just do it and do it. I can do that 3 hours, 4 hours. I've done it hours. I've done it for hours. Do that for an hour, boy, you're going to be You do. You start really buzzing, and you start transcending, and you start feeling your whole body is vibrating. As the buzzing takes place, like the whole body starts pulling energy. Do that about 3 hours, and then just stop. And you'll find you hold your breath maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour. Sometimes people stop breathing for a while. Some of you probably stop breathing.
Open and direct. Reverent submission, earnest inquiry, service. Love is service. Love is service to God, service to humanity. Love is serving. And the greater love, the greater the servant. No other greater love had God than He gave us Christ, and He was no greater servant than Christ, for He was love manifest. He lived it. He lived it. He didn't talk about it. It wasn't some idea that they discussed in the university and then they said, maybe someday man might get this. No, He said, let's put this into action now. As soon as He heard about it, let's do it. Heal as many of the powers to as many people as possible that they can pierce the illusion of darkness and lead others into the light. And I decided this purpose many years ago in forming this school and researching. I knew I wanted to pass this on, not to just one person or just a group of persons, but as the heritage of humanity, to bring it out for humanity. And so this purpose is not a personality purpose of wanting it for your own self. This kind of purpose is wanting it for all. Open and direct. Open and direct.